welcome to Talk Shit. Today, I want to talk about having to go down to Clearwater and take care of one of these tickets from the red light cameras. Yeah, that was quite comical. You want to talk about the perfect scam? There you have it. Don't mind me. I gotta control everything, so that's why I'll be looking around from here to there. But yeah, this whole traffic signal thing. First of all, my car went through the intersection. The light turned red, and it was a half a second. It was less than a half a second. The car was through the intersection. Anyway, I mean, you can see it's my car. We sold it, and whatever, it is what it is. But besides that, they have this set up to where you either plead, either no contest, and then they'll say to you, well, we won't give you court costs because you're saying you're guilty. There's no court cost. There's adjudication withheld, but the fine, the $40 court cost is withheld. The fine for it is like $130, $140. Now, wait, it gets better, because if you want to contest it and say you're not guilty, and you want to fight it with an explanation, okay, so now that changes everything. So now you say you're not guilty. They have the officer go through his little spiel. Now keep in mind, all right, you're in a courtroom. Now, if you look at things the way I look at things, and you really have to pay attention to one of my other shows, and there'll be more to come. The way I look at things is the United States, the courtrooms, all of that, they are what you consider corporate United States, corporate America. It's not the American country that was formed by our fathers. The laws, the whole government has changed. It's just, and I don't want to get too much into it right now because then it ruins it for future shows, because I have so much other material that I want to discuss. I hope I'm not blasting you people out here. All right. Excuse me. All right, so anyway, it goes back to sovereign citizenship and how corporate America has polluted the government system. And I posted a video today, on Facebook page, which is www.facebook.com/TalkShitTV, and it talks about quite a bit of your rights, the things that the government doesn't want you to know about your driver's license, number one. There's a bunch of other things that are getting ready to come up. But in the meantime, back to the traffic camera. So if you say I'm not guilty, and you want to explain whether their system's flawed or whatever the case may be, whatever you want to explain, because there were so many excuses there today, it was quite comical, because there was a bunch of them, and there was this one lady in particular who was ginormous. Ginormous is putting it lightly. But let me see. She, something came up about her pregnancy. I don't want to get too much into detail about it, but just the excuses were quite interesting. So now you plead guilty. You tell him your excuse. The officer who's sitting here, who is just some guy who I'm not even sure who he is, because I couldn't really read his badge. I couldn't really see anything. I was all the way in the back. But apparently they sit around and monitor the traffic cams. So he goes through the footage, the pictures, and yeah, there's no denying it. It's your car. What's your excuse? Yada, yada, yada. So now a guy who's not even a judge, he's a and I forget what he says, and it's unfortunate. I wasn't allowed to record the session because I would have had some audio for you. But he was like a magistrate. He wasn't even a judge. And he gets up and he stands there and he's like this. He stands there like this, all at the edge of his desk, watching the footage and, listening to what the officers got to say and listening to what the plaintiff's got to say. And this whole spiel goes on for a few minutes, and then he sits down and he says, well, you don't have you have lack of evidence, so we're going to fine you the $40 court cost, the $143, which is the original fine, plus another $140. It was amazing. It was just amazing how even if you have a legitimate excuse, one gentleman moved. He moved, and within the 30 days he had to change his address, he did it, and still $140-something fine. So, yeah, what was I don't know, maybe a $30 fine is now a $300 fine. So it goes on to where, now he says to you, well, would you like to pay it now? Or would you like to pay it over 60 days or a year? If you pay it over a year, it's an extra $25. So I'm thinking to myself, I'm sitting in the back of the courtroom, and I'm listening to all of this go on. And I'm like, oh my God, so that's like 3, 6, 9, 12. And I'm sitting there and I'm adding all of the, the revenue that they're getting from these cameras. And when you think about it, and listen, I've seen some accidents. I've driven a tow truck. I know I said I drove a limo, but I'm a jack of all trades, master of none. I've driven quite a bit of equipment and vehicles. But yeah, and I've chased some news with some cameras, and I've seen what happens when you run those lights, and it's not pretty. But now let's say, all right, so here's another scenario for you. Let's say you're from out of town. Let's say you're from Kalamazoo, BF, Arkansas, out in the middle of nowhere, and there's like, one sheriff and 3 sheep in the whole town. And you don't know what the hell a traffic camera is. You have no idea. So let's say you pull up to a light, and you stop, and you look, and there's nobody coming. Nobody. And you make a turn. Well, you just rolled over their sensor that says you went through a red light. Well, what's to say that now, keep this in mind. Once they send you the letter and everything's processed, you have 30 days to respond. Now, from what I saw, a lot of people didn't get their letters 100-plus days after, us included. But it didn't matter. You were paying something there today. If you went into that courtroom and you wasted their time, and not even wasted their time, because these guys, they all sat there looking happy, you know what I mean? You can see they get a little upset when they didn't get the money, when somebody got their adjudication withheld. I think 2 people walked out of there. I didn't understand those cases either, because when you sat and you listened to what was going on, I was like, okay, how did that happen? This guy, this is like his 1,500 ticket and whatever. So, what a crooked, unbelievable, money-making, gangsters with badges, organized crime system it is. And the first thing that I noticed when I walked in is the American flag. And then we'll go back to the sovereignty. I know I jump all over the place, and that's one thing about talk shit. If you don't keep up, you're shit out of luck. So now you jump back to the sovereignty, and you look at the American flag. The true American flag doesn't have those yellow fringes around it. The corporate American flag has those yellow fringes around it, which represents the corporate America that has built the corporate government, that has built the new world order, and who's trying to now invoke martial law on the streets. And I mean, why do you think all these law enforcement agencies and military armories exist and have the hardware they have. Wake up, people. Wake up. Don't be sheep amongst the wolves. Because if you think about it, no matter what, there's more of us wolves than those sheep. And they're the ones that are afraid. And if you think about it, they use fear. Because that's what that whole courtroom was about today, was fear and intimidation. You have 4 or 5 officers, you have a judge, and for those that don't know any better, you'd think it was a judge. You'd sit there and be like, oh my God, I got the Spanish Inquisition going on here. you wouldn't, it's not a comfortable situation. It's very uncomfortable, and I can see where anybody would get nervous and choke up and sure, get upset. And it happens. There was a few. And I knew it from the time we walked in there. I saw these 5 officers sitting there, and I realized, wow, this is going to be interesting. And unfortunately, if I would have recorded it, I wouldn't be sitting here and being able to broadcast talk shit. Which brings us to Kennedy Studios, the providers of talk shit, and it's www.facebook.com/Kennedy Studios. Go check us out. We have our aerial videography and photography program where we use 500-foot and lower drone to take video and pictures, and they're all HD quality. So, yeah, go check it out. Give us a call. We can do all your videography and photography needs. So, moving on. This rain sucks. Let's get to the weather. I'll get that out of the way. Alright, so we're at 52 degrees here at Kennedy Studios in Spring Hill, Florida, and 97% humidity. You can imagine it's raining like a pig. And from what I see, it's going to clear up, of course. Obviously, that's what the main weatherman's been saying. But it's raining now. We've got 0.21 tenths of an inch that's fallen in the last, what is that, hour, I guess? Oh, no. That's 1/10 of an inch in the last hour. I'm sorry. 0.21's in the last month. But, yeah, so, that's where we're at. Barometer is at 39.95 and steady. So, yeah, moving on with some news. I saw some interesting things in the news today, and I'd like to go over them and see where we're at, of course. I got lost in a flood of stuff here. All of our news comes to you from Real News Real Fast. Tom Lemons, his organization, great organization. Hats off to you, Tom. Great work you do. This comes from Tom's website here. And a woman found deceased parked at Walmart on US 19. Wow, that's quite interesting. Well, let's check that out. Okay, so looks like today, about 8:04 this evening, state medical examiner is on scene at this point right now at the Walmart on US 19 after a woman was found dead in her car parked near the garden center. A representative with Hernando County Sheriff's Department says the death is not suspicious and is related to a medical condition. There is no further details at this time. We'll keep you posted on that. That's pretty wicked. So that's going on right now, folks. Medical examiner is up there on US 19, and Hernando County's finest is up there doing what they do. And we'll get on to other news. So we got another hero in the news today, and this time it's a civilian. Once again, the news is brought to you by Tom Lemons, Real News Real Fast. And this comes to you today at about 2:29 this afternoon. Spring Hill Fire Rescue responded to a vehicle fire located at 5174 Tanner Road involved dark color Ford Edge. The driver told Real News real fast that he was just pulling out of the driveway when smoke started pouring out of the engine compartment. Oh boy. Attempts by the owner to put the fire out with water were unsuccessful, but fire rescue personnel were able to extinguish the blaze shortly after their arrival. The driver was able to pull the vehicle away from a nearby structure before evacuating. That's pretty interesting. No one was injured. No structural damage. Well, that's a good thing. Looks like a little SUV. Oh, well, of course. He was pulling a trailer. All right, so here you go. Here's a perfect example of, and I got to say this. I got to get into this. Complete and utter stupidity on his part. So here he is. He's driving. And let's see, what was it? Ford Edge, which is an SUV. All right. The towing capacity on this thing is probably, well, let's just say it's nothing. I'm no damn technician. He's pulling a big Hallmark trailer, probably, 6 foot, 8 foot in length, which I would probably assume is loaded with tools or something heavy. Because, that's probably what burned up your vehicle, dude, was you overheated your transmission from, overworking it because it was too full. Again, that's just my opinion. That's what the show's all about. Talk shit. Everybody's got opinions. Everybody's got assholes. I happen to be an asshole with a lot of opinions. Anyway, moving on. So, what else do we have in the news today? You know what? We're just going to stick with local news. This seems to be pretty interesting today. All right. Okay, so here we go. Here's one Tom posted about this Steak Boss place on Highway 50. I'm not sure if anybody eaten there or if you're familiar with it. It's as you're heading out towards Boogieville, and it's on 50 in Wisconsin on the right-hand side. Now, I have yet to eat there, but I got to tell you, everybody who has told me good things about it. So, Tom did a good story on it. I'm not going to get into his story because we're going to have to go out there and check it out for ourselves. But, for the most part, it looks pretty good. He's got some pictures up there. I wouldn't mind munching on one right now. Alright, so let's see what else we got here. See, this one I can't believe, and I think we discussed this last night. It was another hit and run here in Hernando County last night. The deputy whose charges were dropped, which is absolutely just a disgrace. I don't even want to touch on that anymore because it pisses me off so much how this guy could get away with that. And if you, me, anybody else, we won't go there. Alright, so let's try talking some shit about whatever. And my whatever subject would have to go straight to Facebook. So, Facebook, if you notice, there's a lot of big companies out there. And they all have Facebook pages, and people see, some of these pages, 100,000, 200,000, 300,000 likes. Now, I want people to think about something. And some of these places that you go to, and now I'm not saying all of them do, a lot of them could be genuine likes, but some places that you go to and you look at the place and you're like, wow, this really sucks. The average person probably goes there and says the same thing, that this really sucks. But yet, they've got 300, 400,000 likes. If you go and Google search paid Facebook likes, you'll see list after list after list of how you can pay for Facebook likes. And it was brought to my attention, I don't know, maybe 2 years ago when we had Allphase going on. And Allphase Auto Transport was exactly that. It was an auto transporting company, and we sold it. we moved on. But it was brought to my attention because, Facebook is a very good social media marketing route to go for a lot of businesses, because let's face it, if you don't have Facebook, you're not popular. But I think I got like 68 friends, maybe, if that. I think I dumped a bunch of people. But yeah, so now where I'm going with this is Facebook was designed to interact with your family and your friends and things of that nature, and we've got kids that are like bullying other kids, and if this is how society has moved forward, and Facebook is such a powerful tool, and everybody uses Facebook, and now you'll see all of these petitions going on. Hold on, let me get rid of this. Now you'll see all these petitions going on, okay? And, save the world this, petition that, get this one out of the country, which, that one was a good one. Poor old Justin. Let's get Justin out of the country one, and so on and so forth. I mean, they were all, a lot of them were pretty cool, but why not start a petition that says, now there's a few of them that I would actually start, and again, this is my opinion. First and foremost, start a petition, get it up to the White House. See how they react, because now remember, all of these executive orders that are being pushed through and things of that nature, let's remember that, okay? Executive order. Now, let's put a petition through to Washington that says an executive order to legalize, remove cannabis, marijuana, completely remove it from as a Schedule I drug. Completely remove it. And then legalize it in all 52 states. Come up with a taxation program that is responsible, yet equal on both parts, equal to the taxee and the taxer. And watch how deaths from heroin, deaths from, or methamphetamine arrests, watch how all these other drugs disappear. I'm no expert, but when you look at other countries and you look at their statistics and you see shortly after they've done this, then why not follow in that example? But we're about out of time, so I just want to make a few announcements. Hopefully got a couple co-hosts locked down for the show. Two gentlemen with two different point of views, so that'll give you 3 different people talking shit to you about a whole bunch of different things. And that's what the show is all about, folks. This is what I've been trying to tell you. If you have an opinion and you want to hear something being discussed, or you want to hear us, go off, or whatever you want to hear, whatever you want, doesn't matter. We'll try and give it a shot. You can go to our Facebook page, www.facebook.com/TalkShitTV, and check us out. Give us a like, give us a holler, drop us a message, drop a suggestion, tell us go screw. Doesn't matter. That's what the show's about. Talk shit. We love it. We can take it, just as long as you can. And with that said, I'd like to say thanks for all my listeners and my followers for checking us out and sharing us and helping me grow. So remember, Kennedy Studios, all your aerial photography, videography needs, all your production needs, commercials, little shows like this. If you got any ideas you want to get your idea on air, come and give us a shout. All right, you guys have a good night, and we'll talk to you soon. And that's the show, Talk Shit.